Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brandon Stover, and welcome to the Hustle and Happiness podcast. I just had a special interview with Joshua Belliardo, a singer-songwriter from the Portland area, who used to live in Spokane, and has moved hundreds of people with his songs, and gotten thousands of views on his YouTube and Facebook videos, and just recently played a big show at Cannafest in Canada with other people like Gene Simmons and Brett Michaels, and really is a person of hustle and hard work. This guy is putting in hours and hours of practice time all the time, putting himself out there and really going on the grind. He's been doing it since he was in middle school, doing speed cover raps and always making new songs and producing and always putting in the work. And so I want to share this interview with you guys because I believe that not only is he a musician, but he's an entrepreneur, and he has that hustle mentality that really is what it takes to move forward. So enjoy the interview, and we'll see you guys later. So the big question is this: how are millennials like you and I, who refuse to accept the American dream template that the schools and our parents have tried to hand down to us, we're looking to escape the rat race? How do we shift our mindset in life to reach success and find our happiness? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brandon Stover, and I'm an entrepreneur who is going from zero to success and sharing every one of my secrets along the way in order to inspire you to defy your odds. Welcome to the Hustle and Happiness podcast. What's up, guys? It's Brandon Stover. I'm here with Joshua Belliardo. He's a singer-songwriter in the Portland area. And today he's going to join us on the Hustle and Happiness podcast and talk about his story and really what it means to be a musician and kind of the struggle that he goes through to do that, but how much effort and time he puts in. So give us a little bit of your backstory, Josh, and how you got into music.
Of course. Hey, thank you so much for having me, by the way. It's really cool to be here. So as Brandon said, my name is Joshua Belliardo. I'm a 23-year-old singer-songwriter. I do hip-hop and R&B music, and I also do some beatboxing. I started from a very young age, and at a very young age, I realized if you want to get good at anything, you have to put the time into it. Nothing comes just overnight. So being that I had a lot of spare time on my hands, I was fortunate enough to find interests that I did put all my time into, and now I'm at a position where music is a source of income and a possible career that I can do, until I can't anymore. So I'm very, very happy and thankful for the blessings of being able to do music.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you were talking about anything that you want to get good at, you have to take the time to put in the work. You got to practice, and you've been, getting up on stage in front of people repeatedly all the time. And so, like, what drives you every time to do that? What keeps you getting up there?
Well, man, I love getting to share my stories, and by stories I mean songs. There's no greater feeling than getting to put something out there and get a positive response. It's everybody wants to be, looked at as good at what they do. And when I get to go and get on stage for people, no matter how big the crowd is, knowing that people are enjoying themselves due to my entertainment or being able to relate to the music that I'm sharing, that makes me feel like the best musician in the world, because I am doing exactly my job and what I love. So there's just no greater feeling.
Yeah, I mean, getting up there and being able to share your passion with those people and seeing them, like, see their faces light up, staring back at you as you do that, that's going to be a huge feeling. Does that help you kind of like,
yeah, it's euphoric.
Yeah, does that kind of help you overcome the anxiety of like getting up there on stage? I mean, do you get nervous ever about being on stage?
Honestly, I feel a bit of nerves at times, but I've never really been someone who experienced stage fright. And I'm not really sure why. I just think that since I was practicing, different styles of music and performing from a young age and showing my friends, I was able to logically realize that being on a stage just has me elevated a few feet above people. It's still just showing people something. I'm just on a stage. I feel anxiety. I do, but it's not like I don't want to do the show. I have to run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have always said if there is ever a day where I don't feel butterflies in my stomach before performing, my heart's not in it anymore.
That's amazing. I think that's a huge thing for people when they first start like looking for their passion and what they want to do. I think people dive head in and then eventually their passion kind of falls off. And that's something always that I promote. Like if you're not having fun with it, if you're not passionate about it, like what's the point in keep doing it? You know, there's tons of other things that you can find. So I think that's a huge thing. Um, so
Exactly. I agree 100%.
yeah, so you recently played a pretty big show, Cannafest, up in Canada. How was that? How was playing a lot bigger show, being in front of more people and things like that?
It was a great experience. Shout out to Dave and Chuck Varabayoff for, getting me onto such a platform to be able to have an experience and opportunity like that. They are the owners of Cannafest. They reached out to me after my video for my song More to Me dropped, and of course I wasn't going to say no. Getting there was stressful. I missed my plane. Oh God,
Man.
it was rough, but I felt so good when I arrived, and getting on that stage and playing for people who have no idea who I am in a different country, and just getting to share my stories on a wider scale. It amplifies that feeling of just I'm living my purpose. Man, if there is something people are passionate about, they have to go pursue it. That your life is only so long, and it's a shame that there are people who are good at things, but they just put themselves down all the time, and they don't get themselves the opportunities to really really expand and enjoy life through what they love. And being on that stage at Cannafest was doing exactly what I love.
Dude, that's so huge. I love how much like passion you talk with when you start talking about that and following your dreams and doing the things that you love and having people enjoy it. I think too many people either want to take the easy route or they're just too scared to put themselves out there to really want to follow their passion, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's because people are afraid of failure. I told when I moved to Portland, I said to some people, I'm scared to fail. And one of the people I was talking to, I can't remember who it was, they said, take that word out of your vocabulary. And I was like, huh. So then I started looking at Portland as, if I fail, which wouldn't be failure, I'm looking at it as I went somewhere, I was, completely on my own with nobody I know, gaining experience and doing something for myself. And if I have to return back to my hometown, at least I took a risk.
Absolutely. I mean, you took the drive, you took the momentum and you put yourself out there and um you have no idea like what could come from it. You already know what happens if you don't take the risk. So, you start thinking what's on the other side of that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you were talking about earlier that, you got to put in the work to follow your passion and, doing a big show like Cannafest, that doesn't come easy. How much work do you put in all the time? How much do you practice on your craft?
Well, there are different levels of work. There's the practicing songs, there's the writing the songs, there's performing, there's getting gigs. I want to actually show you something, a notepad file in my phone. The second I got here, I went through Google and I found, I don't know if it's gonna here, let me turn my brightness down. I went through Google and I found every single place
Oh yeah,
that
thank you.
I could find that might hire live music. And I called
Holy,
every single one of these places. You have to be driven for success. As an entrepreneur in any sort of field, nothing's going to get done for you. Yes, you might have opportunities that get thrown in your lap, and those are wins. Don't look at it as, well, I didn't work for that. Other people believe in you. They gave you that opportunity. But unless you put that foot forward and then follow it up with the other foot and keep moving and keep going and being a go-getter, nothing's going to happen. So, work is just everyday life for entrepreneurs. You
Yeah,
have to keep the momentum so it can snowball.
absolutely. And I mean, you're talking about like when the winds fall in your lap, I mean, they didn't just fall there. It happened to be you put in so much work here, somebody's seen you because you've done so much work. You called all these places, you've connected with all these people. And so you're the one that actually crafted that experience to come up,
Yeah.
even though it kind of seems like to everybody outside that's not seeing how
Mhm.
much you're putting in, it just kind of fell in your lap.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even look at it like that. Sometimes I always feel like things just fall in my lap, but other people still had to hear, like, for example, in my case, hear about me or my music or my story and want to help me succeed, help get me to that next level. Brandon, you yourself, you work harder than most people I know. You're constantly trying to find new avenues to promote yourself and get that boost on social media and build a name for you and your craft. And I respect the hell out of you.
Well, hey man, I appreciate it a lot, and that means a lot coming from you too. I mean, how much work I've watched you basically as we grew up together and see you go from what we were as kids to what we are now. I mean, it's amazing.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
yeah, so in order to keep like practicing every day and putting in that work, I mean, eventually it gets tiring and having to do it over and over and over again. What kind of mental skills that you have to develop for yourself in order to keep driving like that?
I feel like the bonus of doing something you love is that it doesn't really feel like work. um you know Being a musician means my emotions are what, like, really drive me from day to day. And getting to write a new song about something that's going on in my life or how I'm feeling, that alone is still practice, because I'm still playing those chords on the guitar. I'm still using my voice to hold my pitch and practice melodic sense and things like that. But really, I think it just comes down to determination to do what you want to do. People who don't work a job that is in like a field that they love, they do it because they have to. They it might not be something they want to do, but they do it anyways because it has to do it. You have to get things done. In my field, yes, there are days where I don't want to play my guitar. There's been times where it's been like a week and a half where I haven't touched my instrument, but I'm still singing. But I feel like it really just comes down to something I've already said a few times. If you don't put the work in, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to stay there stagnant, stationary, and you're not going to be able to improve and move forward in doing what you love.
Absolutely. And I think once you find that passion, and as you were saying, it doesn't always feel like work. I mean, some days it's a little rough, but then you remember like what you're doing and what you're trying to put into the world, and the sort of impact that you want to leave on the world. And so that kind of leads in my next question is, who do you want to impact the most with your music and your work?
You know, anyone who's struggling, anyone who is having a difficult time, anyone who needs to know that others have gone through what they're going through or need something to relate to feel like they aren't alone. I've been there. Hell, I'm there. And it's rough feeling like, we live in a world of social media where you can have 5,000 friends on Facebook, but you still feel like nobody's there for you. So me as an artist, if I get to put a song out and someone can listen to it and then that saves them from going deeper down a dangerous avenue or feeling sad, that's such a beautiful thing. And I just, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it really is anyone who's struggling. That is my main reason for music, is to be able to help others get through something that might be tearing them down so that they can build up and do what they love and see happiness and be able to work towards goals and dreams that they have, regardless if it's music related or anything.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, man. I mean, the fact that you don't want to just do it for yourself and get big. I mean, everybody wants success, and the
Of
limelight, but
course.
doing it for other people and really having your music leave an impact on other people. And so as you perfect your craft, you always have them in the back of your mind that, hey, this just isn't for me, it's for everyone else too.
Yes, exactly. And that's why when I talk about big things happening, I always say we, because me as a musician can't get anywhere without others. People have to listen, people have to support. So that's why I always say Team Joshua B. That's the family. It's not just fans, it's not just, listeners. It is the people who support me, I support them, like I mean, obviously, as my career grows, it would get harder to do this. But if I had somebody who listens to my music who's having a difficult time, they message me on my music page, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to help them, because I feel like they would do the same thing for me. So I feel like their support has me feeling so much like gratitude, and I have to give thanks by returning the favor to the people who helped me get to where I am, you know.
Yeah, man, dude, that's awesome. So like what's like the number one piece of advice that you would give to people starting off, like if they were to ask you?
In relation to music,
A music, entrepreneurship, you know.
find your niche, man. Like really, you gotta find what makes you you, because there are so many people who just try to be like cookie cutter copies of other artists. um Now obviously there's no such thing as total originality anymore. Everything's been done for the most part, but you can still stand out. And I think that if you stand out in a way that you're doing what you love in a unique way to yourself that makes you happy, people will see that authenticity and how genuine you're being to yourself and your craft, whether it be music or any other sort of entrepreneurship related thing. And the support's going to follow. It just takes time, and you cannot stop. You have to keep moving. Like, what's the word? Oh, geez. I can't think of a word right now. I'm having a major brain fart on it. Consistency is key with
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Well,
Consistency. Damn.
well, I think too, like you were talking about, basically putting your own spin on it. And, it's, there's, everyday ideas kind of already been out there for a while, but it's you who brings in the connections between those ideas. And then your story, I think, especially with like your music, your story is what pumps it up and really gives it that emotion and that thing for people to connect with. You talk about wanting to help anybody who's struggled, and when you show that you've struggled, when you put it into your music, even the inflection that you use in your voice as you sing, it really really shows and makes you unique from everybody else.
Yeah, firstly, I just really want to say thank you to you, especially for all the compliments and kind words you've thrown at me. I feel like I haven't said that yet, so thank you, Brandon. I think that, like I just said, if you show the real you through any situation, people respect that. People will naturally be drawn to you. Um, people want to know they can, excuse me, can connect with somebody past just their posts. So uh, as my career grows, I'm still gonna try to grow my interaction with people, because I'm by no means a famous musician. I'm by no means a superstar. Not even close. Not even I haven't even cracked the surface of my career. But I know that you have to be able to show them you are human and not just some sort of like robot. You know what I mean? Like an industry robot.
Yeah,
Personality matters.
absolutely. Well, man, what are you working on these days, and where can people find you online?
Right now, I am waiting September 21st. I will be having a wonderful pianist named Annie Flood going to Amplify Wax Recording Studios in Spokane, Washington. She is the head pianist at Gonzaga University, and she will be laying down the piano tracks for this brand new single that I'll be working on called "I Don't Want to Say Goodbye." And I've been in contact with Strange Music, which is the label Tech Nine, and many other famous artists are on. And I should be working with the CEO of Strange Music, Travis Ogwin's daughter, Mackenzie Nicole, this year. I'm hoping to pitch this song to them for them to, approve it and have her write a verse to it and get on it. So that's really my main project right now, because that would be a huge boost in my career if I was able to release a feature song with somebody at that level, like Mackenzie Nicole. Otherwise, you can find any of my music at www.joshuabmusic.com, as well as all my social media is Joshua B Music. And also thank you, Brandon, because he's the one who designed and got my website running. So shout out to you.
Yeah, man. We'll put a link down below. You guys can go check out Joshua's music. I highly, highly recommend. He's a great, great singer and songwriter. And hopefully you get working with Strange Music. That would be awesome.
It would be amazing. It would change my life. Absolutely change my life.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap up today's episode. Give a like, share, and follow, and we will see you on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the behind-the-scenes look at our entrepreneur's journey. If you want to get more secrets to becoming an entrepreneur and pursuing your happiness, then visit www.hustleandhappiness.com. Join us again next time, and remember, you are just one decision away from your happiness.